Hello everyone, this is Y Manohar Reddy, Department of Cybersecurity, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So today in this session we are going to discuss about the different types of networking commands. So in the networking commands, the main importance of networking command is to identify all the different types of network addresses, identify all the different types of network activities, network statistics from the system and from the network. So there are different types of networking commands are there. Over all those, we are going to explain some interesting commands and how that commands will help us to scan the network or reconnaissance the network. So to find out the vulnerabilities in the organizations or in the companies of any domains, we are going to perform some particular rules, perform some particular practices with the help of some tools. So based on that, we are going to understand that all the different types of commands. So what are the commands? The network commands are used to identify all the different information or find out the information about all the connections, ports, hosts, and different things, everything, all the network. So the first command is what? Ping command. The first one is what? Ping command. So the ping command allows you to test the reachability of a device on the network. So the ping command allows you to test the reachability of a device on the network. So pinging a host should return 4 data packets. If the data packets are not returned to you, then there is a problem with your networking connections. So it tests that the target address is reachable or not. Target IP address is reachable or not. So to run this basic command, what we have to do is what? At the command prompt, of any Windows, you can type that ping. You can type that ping, where the host name of the IP address or host name is nothing but IP address or any domain name. So this is the way you can understand that you can type of any of these commands. You can type the ping command. So type, you can ping space the target address. So target address is nothing but I can say that IP address, or you can say that any domain address. So type like this. So type ping as well as space target address. So now what we will see here, you can identify that pinging. You can identify that pinging of this google.com, and the reply, you'll get the reply from this google.com. So the google.com's IP address is what? 142.250.77.164. So here the ping statistics for all these Google address, the packets are sent 4 and received 4, and the last is 0. That means no packets were lost during the transmission. So approximate round trip time in milliseconds is minimum 32 milliseconds and maximum also 32 milliseconds, and the average also 32 milliseconds. So like the way you can understand this ping command. So it reaches the particular destination is reachable or not. So it tests that reachability of the destination is reachable or not. So you can type here the destination address. That means you can type like host address or IP address. You can type that host address or IP address. So once it is founded, it replies the command with the help of this ping command. So here you can find this all ping statistics for that IPv6 address, this one, and there we can see IPv4 address. So this is the command which is used to test the reachability of the target IP address or target domain address. And the next second one, Ipconfig. So Ipconfig command displays basic IP address configuration information for the Windows device you are working on. So in which system you are working on. So to find the IP address of that particular host, it displays all the IP address of the particular system. So the general information includes IP addresses from both IPv4 and IPv6. So the default gateway and the subnet mask will be displayed. So all these IP addresses, IPv4 and IPv6, default gateway and subnet mask, all will be displayed here. So from see this diagram, you can type this IP config, so that it displays all the Windows IP configuration, Windows Internet Protocol configuration. So wireless LAN adapter local area connection is media disconnected. So that means wireless LAN adapter is not connected. And similarly, wireless LAN adapter local area connection 2 also not connected. And the Ethernet adapter connection is also not connected. So media state is media disconnected. So wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi, that it shows that it is displaying all this information in Wi-Fi enabled state. Displays the information in Wi-Fi enabled state. So at that moment you can see all the IPv6 address, temporary IPv6 address, link local IPv6 address, and IPv4 address, subnet mask, default gateway. All this information will get from this Windows IP configuration. So in the real time you can see here, you can type ipconfig. If you can type here ipconfig, you will get all the information like Ethernet adapter. So this here the Ethernet adapter is connected. So Ethernet adapter is connected. That means physically cable is connected. So physically cable is connected. So the IPv4 address is what? 162.168.15.25, and the subnet mask is what? 255.255.0.0, and the default gateway is what? 172.16.15.254. So it specifies how the system is connected to the network, how the system having that IP address, and how the system having that IPv4 address and all. So like the way you can understand this ipconfig command. And next one, get MAC. So every network capable device on the internet has a unique identifying number. So mobiles having that IMEI number. So like the way the systems are also having that unique identifying number is called as MAC address, medium access control address. So MAC address. Using this get MAC command, a user can determine the MAC address. Of their various network devices. So in the real time, you can type like this. You can type get MAC. So that the physical address and the transport name, you will see here. Physical address and the transport name, you can see here. This A4, AE12, F7, 4E, CA, and the device TCP IP. This is all the physical address of the system and the transport name. So that is the physical address, that is the MAC address of the system. And the next one, host name. So host name is nothing but what is the system name actually. So it displays the current name of the system on the network. So in previously I typed it on my laptop, so that I displays like laptop QQK TC CAP. So that is the system name actually. So that is what you can project here also. Host name you can type. So IARE ICT is the host name. IARE is the host name. So like the way you can identify this host name of the system. And next one, Nslookup. So Nslookup command, it displays the information that you can use to diagnose domain name systems infrastructures. Identifies that you can use to diagnose the domain name systems. So DNS, domain name system infrastructure. So using Nslookup without a parameter will show the DNS server your PC is currently using to resolve domain names into IP address or not. So it specifies that particular domain name servers are having that or not. Domain name server which is reachable to your IP address or not. So here you can type Nslookup directly. The default server, if your system is connected to the server, then it displays the server name and the address. So in this slide, I am going to show that my system is not connected to any of the server, so that it displays default server is unknown. Default server is unknown. So like the way you can understand that Nslookup system. So you can type here also Nslookup, so that it displays that default server IARE.ldp.iare.com, and the address is 172.16.0.11. So like the way you can display the Nslookup symbols, Nslookup command that displays all the server name of the system, server name of the network, displays along with the IP address also. And next one, trace route command or trace route. So this command will trace the route a data packet takes before reaching its destination, and displaying information on each hop along the route. Displaying the information on each hop along the route. So each and every packets are transmitting the data on the route itself. So each and every place, each and every hop along the route are having some information. So each hop of this route will display the latency between your device and the particular hop and the IP address of the particular hop. So how much data is transmitted toward the network, and how much speed it takes towards transmission, and how much data is how many packets are being transmitted towards the destination will let you know all the things in the trace route command. So here you can type trace route or trace route space target name you can see. So it finds the route, it tracing the route towards the particular domain over a maximum of 30 hops or maximum of 20 hops. So it displays all the hops that are being transferred the data to the destination. It is being towards transfer to the destination. So here you will get all the information. So 3 milliseconds, 16 milliseconds, 3 milliseconds for the particular hop 1, hop 2, hop 3. Like the way you can see the over maximum of 30 hops. Out of those 30 hops, it reaches towards within the 11 hops. It reaches towards the destination within the 11 hops. So like the way you can understand this trace route command. And next one, netstat. So netstat command displays all the active TCP connections, and ports on which the computer is listening, or which the computer is able to contacting. So Ethernet statistics, the IP routing table, Ethernet statistics and the IP routing table, and the IPv4 statistics and the IPv6 statistics. Each and everything will be displayed on this netstat command. So netstat command. So it displays all the active TCP connections and ports and different types of routing tables, IPv4 statistics and everything will be displayed. So here in this slide, I am presenting that networking command netstat with the help of following different types of connections that are being established, ports that are being established. So these are all the states that are established, and these are all the ports that are established with the help of these local IP addresses. So like the way you can display all the TCP connections, ports and Ethernet IP address, IPv4 address, IPv6 address and everything. So these are all the network statistics of the particular system or particular network. And next one, ARP. So address resolution protocol. So command ARP displays entries in the address resolution protocol. Catchy. So it contains both internet addresses as well as physical addresses. So internet addresses is used to identify the network, and the physical address is used to identify the system. So that address is identified, and that address all stored in the particular command that is nothing but ARP. So ARP displays an entries in the address resolution protocol cache which contains one or more tables, more tables that are used to store IP addresses and their reserved Ethernet physical addresses. So it shows that what? It shows that both IP addresses as well as Ethernet physical addresses. That Ethernet physical addresses are nothing but MAC addresses. MAC addresses. So here you can type ARP space minus A. ARP space minus A. It displays all these internet addresses as well as physical addresses. And along with that, that address is a type of dynamic, address is a type of static, it displays. So this particular first one is dynamic because of this identified by this system, so that it is a type of dynamic that we can change in our own self. And remaining all these internet addresses and physical addresses are static. Because of that static, we are not able to change or we are not able to modify. So like the way you can understand this ARP command. And the next one, path ping. So path ping combines that ping command with the reset command. Ping command with the reset command. So that is the combination of both ping and the traceroute command. So ping command tests that the reachability of the destination and how much time it displays, how much time it reaches the destination and how many packets it reaches to the destination. So that is what use this ping command. And traceroute command to the destination, how many hops are that you utilized to forward the destination. So that is the use of traceroute command. So combination of these two, we are saying that the how much time it takes towards to the destination, it reaches to the destination, and providing information about network latency and network loss. So how much time it takes towards the destination, how much loss it would happen in the destination of the network, how much loss it would happen in the transmission of the data, during the transmission of the data is happening. So network loss at intermediate hops between a source and a destination. Intermediate hops between a source and a destination. So this combines the both ping command as well as traceroute command. So to providing that information about network latency and network loss, at intermediate hops between a source and a destination. So you can type path ping. So www.iare.com. So towards tracing route to www.iare.com. This is the IP address, and over a maximum of 30 hops, it displays all the connections for the towards the next packet to the destination. So totally the tracing is completed. So it works as a both traceroute command as well as ping command. So that is the path ping command. And last one, the system info. So the system info command, which displays a detailed list of configuration information, includes the installed version of Windows, the host name, the product ID, the type and number of CPUs, RAM configuration, network card details, and installed hotfixes. So everything we can display all the information to the system, information of the system under the network. So here, if you can type system info, it displays what? First one, host name, that is the host name or system name. And the second one is operating system name. So OS name, it displays Microsoft Windows 11 Home single language. And the next one, OS version. So OS version also it displays. So it displays OS version as a 10.0, Windows version 10, 22,000, build 22,000. And next, OS manufacturer. Who is the manufacturer of this operating system? Microsoft Corporation. And OS configuration. So OS configuration is a standalone workstation. And OS build type. So it is built for multiprocessor free multiprocessor free type, and the registered owner is what mentioned, registered organization is what mentioned, and the product ID mentioned, product ID is what mentioned, original installation date is mentioned, 12/7/2021 is mentioned, and the system boot time, so system boot time is also mentioned, 8/22/2022 9/31, and system manufacturer is what Lenovo, who is manufacturing that system is able to display, and system type, it is a 32-bit or 34-bit it displays, system model it displays 82H8, and the processor, so processor, which type of processor, how many processor installed, one processor installed, so Intel 64 family 6 model 144, the processor type, processor model, processor configuration it displays, BIOS version it displays, Lenovo GGCN and everything, Windows directories, boot device, system directories, system local, input local, total physical memory is how much, total physical memory, available physical memory is how much, virtual memory maximum size, virtual memory available size, and page file location, and domain, and logon server, and hot fixes, and network cards, and Hyper-V requirements. So like the way you can display all the information about the system, it displays all the information about the system, it displays. So these are all the different types of networking commands that we can understand to perform different types of network scanning methods. Network scanning methods are network reconnaissance methods. Network scanning methods are network reconnaissance methods. So we'll see what we discussed in this session. So the first command is what? Ping command. So other than this also we can have a different types of scenarios in the different operating systems. So in the Windows we can type like this only, but in the Linux we can have a different path of commands with the different variations. So first one is what? Ping command. So ping command allows you to test the reachability of your device on the network. So how it towards to the reach to the destination is to be displayed, and pinging a host should return some particular data packets. If the data packets are not received by the receiver, that means the problem is in the network connection. So like the way we can understand. So to run this command, what we have to do? We have to type the command ping space, type the host address, or IP address, host name or IP address. So in the internet protocol address, we can have two types of components actually. One is network ID and the second one is the host ID. Suppose you can say that you can take any of the IP address 192.168.10.9. If you take this IP address as a IP address, in this we can say that for the first two parts or first three parts we can say that it is a network part. It is a network part or network ID, we can say that. And the rest of the first or rest of the two parts we can say that it is a host part. It is a host part or host ID part. So in the local area connection we can able to change all the hosts, but we cannot able to change the network. So we can change the system's IDs 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 12, 13, 14, up to how many number of systems are available, or to all the systems you can able to change. But the network ID should not change, because of the network service provider assigns this network ID to reach the all local area system networks. So like the way you can understand. So based on this one, we can understand that ping command is used to test the reachability of the destination. And the second one is Ipconfig. We already said that Ipconfig, it displays all the configuration of IP, how it established actually. So it is established with the help of wireless LAN adapter, or it is a Ethernet adapter, or it is a wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi. So in how way the network is accessed towards the system. So through Ethernet or through wireless. So like the way all information is displayed, IPv4 is displayed, IPv6 is displayed. And the next one, get MAC address. So get MAC is nothing but a physical address, or you can say that it is a medium access control address. So it appears for the system to communicate other systems to other devices, to communicate other devices of the network. It should ensure that. So the get MAC is a command to identify the MAC address or identify the IP address, identify the physical address. And the host name is also say that it displays the system name or current username of the system, And next, Nslookup. So Nslookup command, it displays information that you can use to diagnose the domain name system. That means the system is identified to the particular domain or not. And this Nslookup with parameter will shows that DNS server is your PC is currently using to resolve this domain or not. So all these domain name servers are used to identify that server is located or not. And the trace route command, it reaching all the network destination with the help of maximum of some hops or maximum of some certain hops. So how it reaches to the destination. And seventh one, network statistics. Network statistics are net statistic. So it displays all the active TCP connections or ports on which the computer is listening. So Ethernet statistics, IP routing table, IPv4 statistics, and IPv6 statistics, and everything. So how many connections are there, how many ports are there, all the things will be displayed with the help of Netstat Command. And ARP command, so address resolution protocol commands, it stores all the IP addresses and it stores all the physical addresses, and it displays, it identified that internet addresses as well as physical addresses along with that type. So how that IP address is available, how that physical address is available, and how the type, whether it is a dynamic or it is a static. So dynamic means you can change that IP address or physical address to our system, and static does not able to change that systems. So like the way you can understand this ARP. And the path ping. So path ping command is used to combine both the ping command as well as trace route command. So ping command as well as trace route command, it displays information about both. What ping is displayed and what trace route is displayed. And it displays the network loss and the network latency of the transmission, network loss or network latency of the transmission between all the hops from the source to destination. So there are different types of way we can understand this path ping command. And last, the system info command, it displays all the information about the system. So it's displayed a detailed list of configuration information, includes the installed version of the Windows, host name and product ID, type of number of CPUs, RAM configuration, network call details, and installed hotfixes, and everything. Displays all the system information. So these are all the networking commands are very used to identify the different networks, identify the different IP addresses of the organization or of the offices and anywhere. So with the help of these commands only we can able to scan the network and to do not occur the vulnerabilities of domains or vulnerabilities of the system, vulnerabilities of the network. So how can we protect our system? How can we need to provide the security on the system? We must ensure that we have to know about all these commands and command related information. So this is about the session that we are discussing on the networking commands. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.